In this lesson, we're going to create a cat with a really cool holiday scarf. This lesson is inspired by the cat portrait artist Angie Rozelaar. Look at these awesome cats and their adorable scarves. They are so ready for the snowy weather. These are portraits, so it's a picture of a cat sitting with something in the picture. So we're going to be inspired by the adorable scarves and kitty cats in the snow. Hello, amazing artists! Today we are going to draw our Angie Rozelaar inspired cat. Now I'm going to use a Sharpie. You can this time use a Sharpie, but if you feel like there are some hard parts, you can go and use a pencil for that part. But if you want to use a pencil first because you feel like you are more comfortable with the pencil, go for the pencil. But I think you should try and fix your mistakes if you have a mistake. So we're going to get started. I have my white piece of paper. And I'm going to start by making the scarf. So if you look at this picture here, he has a big, chunky scarf. We're going to use our lines to do that. I'm going to find the middle of my page. And my page is really big. So I'm going to find the middle, and I'm going to make a horizontal line right in the middle. Not too small, because this is about how wide my cat is going to be. Then I'm going to make another horizontal line right under it. About a whole finger length and height. Then I'm going to attach those two lines with two vertical lines. And I'm going to start creating the patterns inside my scarf. Maybe your patterns are different, but I'm going to make some straight lines for his scarf. So I have some vertical lines. Underneath his scarf is going to be two little tassels that come down. So anywhere over here, I'm going to choose an area to start drawing a vertical line straight down. Then make another vertical line going straight down. I'm going to make two more vertical lines, 1 and 2. This time I made it a little bit shorter. I want you to go ahead and connect those with two horizontal lines. And I'm going to make some tassels at the bottom to tell that it's a scarf. Now, since the scarf is now going in a different direction, my patterns are going to go down now. So it's going to be horizontal instead of vertical because the scarf is hanging down, not going across. So I'll be able to tell that this is his scarf. Next, I'm going to make some patterns inside. Now remember, patterns repeat. So if I did blank, pattern, blank, pattern, blank, the same thing's going to go down here. So I'm going to start by making a pattern. You can make whatever patterns you want, but I'm just going to do some horizontal line patterns. You want to get fancy with it? You could go ahead and make whatever pattern you want on your scarf. Now if I go down this way, it's not going to be horizontal, it's going to be vertical. When you're all done with your scarf, give me a thumb up. I'm just going to clean up some spots while I'm waiting to move on to the next part. And I did all of that just with my Sharpie. And if you make a mistake, maybe you can just turn it into something else. Maybe you can change your pattern a bit. Not a big deal. Next, we're going to move on to the kitty cat's head. So his head's going to go up and back, down, and around. If this is the part where you want to use the pencil as for the shape of his body so you get it right, go ahead and switch over to a pencil and then trace it when you like the lines, but I'm going to keep using my Sharpie. I want to see how it comes out. So I'm going to go up, down, and back around. Let me show you the picture of his head. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Mine's not perfect. If it's not perfect, it definitely gives it some character. So I go up, and back, down, and around. Now, I have enough room for his ears, okay? I want to leave enough room for his ears. So up, back, down, and around. Next, I'm going to work on his ears on each side. Now, they may not be exactly the same, and that's okay. I'm going to start with one diagonal line, and then come back down another diagonal line. It's a little bit of a curved diagonal line. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Go up and back down. I'm going to make a little triangle inside of each triangle so that it looks like his ears. The next step we have to do are the eyes and the nose. But we're going to start with the nose because it's going to help guide us in how big we can make the eyes. So the nose is going to go about the middle right here. And I'm just going to make a straight line. And it's going to be an upside down triangle. So then I do another diagonal line going down. And then I finish it here, down. I'm going to make the mouth. So what I do is I make a straight line that goes down and extends beyond my triangle. And then little hooks on each side, or little letter U's. Actually looks like a backwards J. And then I'll do the same to the other side. And if you have your Sharpie, you can color in the nose if you would like to color in the nose. My kitty cat has a spotted nose. I could have made a spotted nose if I'm going to make my kitty cat that I have at home. It's so cute. I can't believe it. He has black dots on his pink nose. Now that I have my kitty cat's nose, I need to make him start looking like a kitty cat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him some big eyes. And again, if this is something you would like to do with a pencil first, if not, I'm just going to go for it. Because if it looks silly, I really don't care. So I'm going to make a big circle. Because cats have some big eyes. One circle on one side, not perfect. One circle on the other side. They're not the same. We have to make small circles inside of those circles. So see how big these circles are inside? And they're not perfect. They're not the same. So I'm going to do a big circle on the inside and a big circle on the other side. He looks like he's looking at something that he really wants. I'm going to color in his eyes. I know my cat looks like this when he's staring at the Christmas tree, wondering which ornament he wants to knock down next. What is my kitty cat missing? He's missing his whiskers. So I'm just going to make long lines that extend on his face from about around here. So 1, 2, 3. They could do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3. And are they the same? Nope. But I like it like that. I think it looks original and I love my artwork. Now you can always add some designs on your kitty cat. Maybe you have a striped kitty cat. My kitty cat is an orange cat, so I'm going to make mine orange. But we'll worry about that later. Next, we're going to move on to the body. Now I want to move my paper down. I left enough space for his big belly, and I'm going to add a tail going all the way up. And again, go and use your pencil if you need this pencil for this part. But his belly comes down, back up, and around again. My kitty cat, he's a chunky kitty. He's a chunky kitty cat. So I'm going to make my kitty cat chunky. Maybe your kitty cat's skinny. Maybe your kitty cat's a short kitty cat. You decide. So I'm going to go down and back around, kind of like how I did the top of the head, but this time it's going to come at an angle when I come around and back up because my kitty cat's fat. So I start over here at the scarf, I go down, and then I hook it around. So I hooked it this way, and then it comes down and back up again. That's about right. That's about the size of my cat. I said it. He's a chunky kitty. Actually, this kitty cat's this is a skinnier kitty cat. Look how big the kitty cat is. Definitely, this one's definitely my cat. I'm going to make his tail that curls up. Now, if you have more space on this side, maybe you want to make the tail on this side, or you can make the tail on this side. I have more room on this side, actually, that I'm noticing, so I'm going to fill in this space because I have more room to draw here. So I'm going to start at the bottom where his tail would be, and I'm just going to make a curved line and go up, around, and back down. Now, my kitty cat has a chunky tail because he's a super fluffy kitty, so I gave him a big tail. If your kitty cat has a skinny tail, you can give him a skinny tail. And unless your kitty cat's arms are tucked under, I can't see my kitty cat's paws. So right now, I'm going to make the kitty cat's paws. And you can bring him down here. You can make it so that he's kind of sitting up a little bit. Up to you. And I'm going to make a curved line that comes up. And I'll make 1, 2, 3 little paw lines. 1, 2, 3. I gave my kitty cat claws in the other one, but I'm not going to give him claws in this one. Now, if you're done, you can add different details. Maybe you want to give the kitty cat a bow. Maybe there's something in the background. I'm actually going to draw a horizontal line for the background to show that he's sitting on the floor. So I'm doing that in the background. See how I did that? I'll make that line nice and thick so we can see. Maybe there's a Christmas tree in your background. What's in the background of your artwork? Definitely would be a Christmas tree in the background of mine, kitty cat, or he's staring at the tree and he's like, whoa, I cannot wait to destroy it. Okay, now that I'm done, next step is for us to color. Let's take a look at Angie Rozelaar's cats again. So she has many different types of cats. She has gray cats, calico, black and white, gray, orange tabbies. So you're going to decide what color you would like to make your cat. We're going to color first with the crayon and then paint on top of it. You can use markers, crayons, colored pencils for this project. Or if we have time in the art room, we may use some paint. But first I'm gonna color in my kitty cat. So like I said, my kitty cat is orange. So I'm gonna find some orange colors. I have some yellow here. So let's think about it. Think about what color is your cat or a cat you would love to have. And my kitty cat is a colored cat I always wanted. I always wanted an orange kitty. So I'm going to start by coloring his fur. And like I said, my kitty cat has stripes, so I'm just going to color his stripes in first. Just going to make stripes along his body. And since I do have paint, I'm going to bring the paint in later. But first, I'm going to just color with the crayon. Getting all the stripes on my kitty cat. Maybe your kitty cat is gray, black. You can even make a crazy colored kitty cat. Add some yellow in there to add some bright color before I go ahead and paint the rest of it in. Next, I'm going to do the scarf. And this time I'm going to use some of my bright colors for his scarf. And I'm going to obviously do a Christmas color scarf. So, I'm going to go ahead and color in his scarf. Now I'm remembering that his scarf is a pattern, so I want to make sure that everything that I do on the scarf repeats. My kitty cat scarf is awesome. Now that I colored in his scarf, which is much better than painting because that's a lot of detail to color in, so I want to make sure that I'm coloring it and not painting it because sometimes paint gets a little messy. So I can either color in some things in the background. Maybe I want to do some patterns before I start painting the background, but I'm going to finish this drawing off with paint. So yeah, maybe I'll do some patterns in the background too. We've got a nice vocabulary word of pattern today. So I'm just going to add some light designs and colors to the background before I get started with painting. Add some cool designs and background images. So we don't want it to be a little boring. All right, now that I have that, unless you have like a Christmas tree in the background, that's totally up to you. So now I have my kitty cat. Oh, I forgot one thing. I can also color in the inside of his ear. Don't forget that. Okay. I'm gonna go get my paint and put my markers away. Now I have my paint. I'm being a good artist and I'm putting all my materials away so they don't roll off the table and I don't lose them. Making sure my Sharpie's closed. Okay, now I'm ready to start painting. I'm so excited. I'm going to start with the color orange. You can use whatever colors you have for your cat. I mean, what color is your cat? Now my paper is getting a little wet because it's a little thin, so I'm not going to overdo it. So I want to let that dry. On top of my kitty cat's tail's white, so I'm going to leave his tail white so I can tell it's him. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, now that my kitty cat's painted, I'm going to move on to the background. I might go back and add a little bit more paint since I don't want to overdo it. You can always add more. You can never take it away, right? So I'm just going to let that dry because the paper is very thin. This paper is not a great painting paper, but this is what I used today. So if you use your sketchbook, probably would be better paper to paint on. All right, now I can do the floor. What color? I'm going to do, my carpet's brown, so I'm going to make it brown. Actually, those colors are a little too close together. I'm going to add some black in there. There we go. And again, I don't want to overdo it with the paint because I don't want my paper to rip. Okay, I did a really good job coloring the floor. I might actually finish the rest of the painting with some markers and then leave that upside down because I feel like that paper is really thin. So you decide, you're the artist, and finish off your artwork the way that you want to. All right, my kitty cat looks pretty cool. He's nice and warm, ready for winter. When I'm all done, put your paints back on the counter and the cup goes in the sink. And I'm gonna let him dry. I might actually go in and add some extra different things when I'm done. Like maybe add a little bit more crayon and marker to kind of make these images pop out a little bit. Like I can trace some things. But I'm going to let him dry because he's a little wet and this paper is very, very thin. So I'm going to put him on the drying rack. And when he's all done, I'm going to take him home.